So sitting together, and while we are looking, we're angling into the body in any way that you're comfortable. Hands, butt, thighs. You can send them a smile. Sometimes something wants to come out from your throat. Sometimes it feels like there is something wants to come out, some kind of a sound. So we'll allow it. We don't look very photogenic when we do that, but it's okay. Once this feeling becomes permanent, and it will, you really will not care how photogenic you are at the moment. Or actually, when it becomes permanent, you won't need to use all these tools. But even when you're there permanently, it's nice to sometimes reaffirm those tools. Oh, look at that, I'm smiling and I'm making this more intense. Ah, here's my magic wand. I can sort of angle into my body. It's almost like I seem to be able to be like a sculptor, which takes this inner, let's call it energy, it's not, and almost I can sculpt it. And have fun with it. So the mind might say nothing is happening, but it's not true. I usually say hundreds of angels are working on us as a metaphor. And I like that word angel because in English it's almost the same word as angle. So that's why we call it an angular practice. Anytime if the mind wants to comment, it's fine. And you can either chuckle or just smile. Use the power of the smile. The mouth has this geometry that works really well in sending, receiving feelings and directing them to a certain direction. Words and expressions in duality have a direction. It's always towards something. So we think that the only way to direct our attention is through those words. But no, we can direct our attention through smiles and feelings. I can direct my attention to my right ear, let's say. Okay, right ear. And we practice that a lot because when we're actually inside, quote unquote, when we're inside, we realize right away that there's no inside. But anyway, that's a figure of speech when we're inside. The rules totally change. The rules that is applicable in this level is no longer. So we need to do our attention. We need to direct our attention a little bit differently than before. Attention is the most important asset that we have. Yeah, I know if my daughters were online, they would say, okay, Dad, but $1 million would be just fine as an asset. So when we're already in, we can still use words as intentions, but we can direct attention with the magic wand, with a smile, even with words, with a blink of an eye. So as we progress on this road, which is of course not a road, every road leads away from this, but it's a figure of speech. As we progress, the moment-to-momentness we'll need to relearn how to pay attention a little bit differently than before. When our mind is very active, just keep on smiling. When the contrast mind is on and active, it will tell us what we're looking at. It'll put different filters in front of us, so we can't really see clearly. We only see what the mind telling us that we're looking at. It's fine, that's what it's supposed to do. When we bypassed and we're in this inner world, then we're no longer subject to the fearful templates or the filters that the mind so diligently thinks that it has to use to protect us. Because according to the contrast mind, we're living the life where metaphorically, like we are on the boat which is sinking, always. Something always we always have to be afraid of something. And so the realization that if you use the boat metaphor, is definitely not sinking. Puts the contrast mind under your rule, under your jurisdiction, as a queen or a king. If you're ruling your kingdom, queendom, from this place, all the decisions that you're making will be clear, not influenced by fear. Clear thinking and just thinking themselves would be a very natural thing to do. While if we just let the contrast mind loose and we do not activate this ability, basically the contrast mind takes over, tells you what you're looking at, tells you what to be scared of, and runs our life and runs our reality. Our thoughts will become our reality. So if I have garbage thoughts, defunct, bankrupt, fearful thoughts, then that's how my life is going to be. So it's serious, as it is evidenced by all the wars and everything else that's happening. And our mind believes that it's normal. Haha, today 60 people were blown up. Of course, it's not normal. So the nut house needs a queen and a king. And this is the way we can rule, overwhelm, interlace our life, and the mind gets interlaced with this constant. We can't get here. We can only surrender to be here. We can't accumulate enough to be here. We can only surrender and shift our attention this way. There is no other road to it. There is no road to it. As soon as we're accumulating and going towards the direction, we're going the wrong way, assuming that it is awakening that we're looking for. So part of usually when we get together for this hour is to just hang out together in this space. And there is really not much to say. And the reason I'm talking is to keep the little bit of the mind that sometimes show up busy. I keep it busy with what I'm saying. Ooh. We are all over the world, but we are together. I mean, we have this in common. There's no, this is where we notice there's absolutely no time and space on this level. The love that we experience does not take more time to get to India than to Atlanta or wherever. Of course, it all started from England. Yeah, we know that. Greenwich Mean Time and all that. So you British invented stuff. So the love also starts from England, let's say. Most important is just to be here and enjoy it. And like I said, how we know we're there is that it's not boring. The occasional smile, you know, increases the intensity. If you have a question, especially about practice, please let me know. So nice to see all these faces.
Yeah. What I want to say is that it is so beneficial to sit in front of two conscious beings, because I know for myself something deep inside is listening and opens up. It opens up and it feels so good. And I want to thank you from my heart for doing this, especially Nurit, for your hard work. And I know it's hard work. You're doing this all the time.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Thank you, Phyllis.
Thank you.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Nurit organizing stuff, I wouldn't do anything. I'm perfectly okay sitting next to a tree in a small village and just sit. I don't know. But so yes, if it's not for Nurit, I'm.
And you.
Well, it took me 40 years to find this. I don't want other people to go to waste all that time.
It's very nice to see all of you. And it's wonderful to feel this way together. I love it, and I think I see on your faces that everyone is the same way. So thank you, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, and I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.
Provided that Nurit organizes it.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.